Hi everyone, in this video I'll explain how I planned the WordPress Advisor redesign project. I'll show you the discovery document, my main project management tools, and then I'll do a quick overview of the design phase. For anyone that doesn't know, WordPress Advisor is my main website, and initially I created this website to just sell and experiment with one specific service, which was an advisory retainer service. But after that I decided to turn this landing page in a full proper website, where I could add content dedicated to WordPress. And since the name is immediately recognizable, I thought it would make a better name compared to my old website called takeoff.design, which was a little bit more generic in a sense. And of course, when I initially created the WordPress-Advisor.io, I just had to create one single landing page, so I didn't do a proper discovery phase, a proper design phase and development phase. So the result is that the website right now doesn't look exactly great. I don't like it at all, and I think that I can redesign this in a way that is more consistent and most of all to make it look a little bit more professional. So that's why I decided to redesign the website. I always start web design projects with a discovery phase. And during the discovery phase, we create a blueprint of what we are going to build. This blueprint consists of a document that outlines all the details about the product or the website. So it will describe exactly what we are going to design, all the features that we'll need to develop, and other project details, like for example, the project goals. If you've never done a discovery phase before, you may find this hard to believe, but this phase can have quite the magical effects over the course of the project. It helps to control budgets, it helps to control risk during the project, it manages expectation between me and the client. It's essential to understand exactly what the clients want to achieve, and finally, it has the side effect of limiting design revisions. I rarely went over one design revision after I started including discovery phases in my process for client work. And here you may wonder, why did you do the discovery phase for your own project? And basically I did a shorter discovery phase, but I still did it because writing really helps me to lay down all my goals, understand exactly what I want to achieve, and define a vision of the website I actually want to create. It basically helps me to think critically about the project and about every single feature. I use several tools to help me manage projects. However, in this video, I'll only mention two of them, Trello and Notion. I use a Trello board to keep track of what I'm actually doing in the project and what I will need to do. As you can see right here, it's organized in 5 columns. On the left side, we have ideas, then planned, which are basically promoted ideas for the project. Then we have the task in progress. Then finally, we have completed task and notes and tools. And this last column is basically just a list for some resources that will be used for this particular project. So for example, the Git repository, notes about the tech stack, design inspiration, assets of different kinds, a link to the discovery document, and to other stuff that in general can help us in the design or development of this particular website. And if you were the client of this project, I would also share this Trello board with you. Then I use Notion to track long-term project notes. The page dedicated to this project on Notion is quite empty now, but I will add content as I work on the project. And what I love about Notion is that it can become some sort of a mini Wikipedia dedicated to your project. And it includes all kinds of tools like tables, timeline views, and more. So by using Trello, I keep track of what I'm currently working on. And I use Notion mostly to document the project. So I know that if I forget something in 1 year from now, I can probably find it in Notion. Here you can see my Figma file for this project. It's organized in 3 pages: typography, components, and mockups. Usually in a regular client project I would have 2 additional pages, moodboard and wireframes. And I would have a style guide page instead of having a page dedicated only to typography. The components page is organized with atomic design, and I arranged the components in atoms, molecules, and organisms. A quick overview on atomic design in case you are not familiar with it. Basically we have the components organized in different categories, and in the original atomic design concept you have 5 categories, but I usually just use three of them. So we have the atomic components, which are the elements that can't be reduced or split into smaller components. For example, a basic button like this one. Then we have molecules, which are just group of atoms. And finally, we have organisms, which are groups of molecules. So in this way you can organize your design to make it as consistent as possible, and it will also be easier to expand in the future. Then in the mockups page we just have the templates that we are going to develop for this website. I know I already mentioned WordPress and Next in the previous video, but I just wanted to add a couple of details about the tech stack. In this project I will also use Apollo Client, which will help us manage data with GraphQL. I'm going to use TypeScript as well, since the starter project included it by default, so that's a perfect opportunity for me to finally learn it. And for the styling part, I will use Tailwind with style components. I found this cool package that integrates Tailwind and style components together, so that should help us avoid adding an endless stream of utility classes to every class name attribute. And lastly, at some point I had in mind of trying Storybook as well, which is a nice utility to manage and test components. However, I can't because currently it's not compatible with NPM 8 and React 18. So after trying it a little bit, I just removed it, but I'll probably add it later when this issue is fixed. And that's all. This is the process I typically use when I'm working on a full site build for regular WordPress websites. Since this is a personal project, I took a risk and skipped the wireframe phase and some other micro phases, and it's the risk of course that I wouldn't take on regular client work. But what about you? What's your process when you need to develop a full website? Is it shorter than this one or more complex? Let me know in the comments, so maybe we can exchange some ideas. And thank you for watching.